Good day to all. I'm here again, Sir Ken, to learn about Earth and Life Science. We are now on the second module. Second module again is about the origin and structure of the Earth, but this time it focuses on the subsystems. After going through this module, you are expected to determine the 4 subsystems of the Earth, describe the characteristics of each subsystem, trace the flow of matter and energy in the Earth's subsystems, and express one's internalized role as steward of the 4 subsystems concerning the flow of matter and energy. Competency covered in this module is explain that the Earth consists of 4 subsystems across whose boundaries matter and energy flow. Let's start now our lesson. Before that, let's have a review. As you can see, I have here again a picture of the planet Earth. From the previous module, we learned that the planet Earth, our home planet, is very unique. Why? Because it's the only planet that has life. Why does this planet have life? This is because of its location in our solar system. Its location, not too far away from the sun and not too near from the sun. This makes our planet a habitable zone or a habitable planet. In this condition, our atmosphere can protect us from the harmful radiation of the sun, and water exists in liquid form, which is necessary for life. Earth is sometimes called the water planet or the blue planet because seas cover more than 2/3 of its surface. Earth is the only planet or moon in the solar system with rain that falls from clouds, runs over the land, and collects in extensive oceans. Also the only body we know that supports life. Now, try to imagine you are in this scenery. Imagine walking along a rocky coast as a storm blows from the sea. The wind whips the ocean into white caps, and waves crash onto the shore. Before you have time to escape, blowing spray has soaked your clothes. A hard rain begins as you scramble over the rocks to your car. During the adventure, you have observed the spheres of the Earth. Wait, spheres of the Earth? We know that the Earth is already a sphere, but what it mean that the Earth has spheres? From the previous slide, list down the terms that are used in the statements that reflects to what made up the Earth. Categorize them based on the following: air, water, land, and with life. You have 90 seconds to answer this. Time's up. Let us now see if you have the same answers. Under air, we have wind and rain. In water, we have the ocean. In land, we have rocky coast and shore. And with life, since you are the one who are in that scene, you are the one listed with life. From the table, we can say that the earth is made up of things that can be found in air, water, land, and with life. These are the four components that make our planet a living planet. Remember, air, water, land, and life. Analyze and label the given picture. From the picture, create a general concept in each picture and identify the physical characteristics of the subsystem of the Earth. Differentiate one with the other. You have 90 seconds to analyze the pictures. Time's up. Let us now see if we also have the same answers. From the first picture, we can see a pie chart with the percentage of the different gases. If your answer is about the atmosphere, then you are correct. It's the gases in the atmosphere. On the second picture, you can see a diagram of a crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core. From grade 10, you know that this picture is about the interior of the Earth. On the third picture, you can see water waves or ocean waves. And on the last picture, you can see animals and plants, which means they are all living things. As we can see, these are the components that make up our planet. We can differentiate them because they have their own domain, or what we call a sphere. The Earth is composed of 4 subsystems. We call those 4 as the subsystems of the Earth. These are atmosphere, biosphere, geosphere, and hydrosphere. According to John Muir, when one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. How is the given diagram related to the said code? How does the four subsystems of the Earth connect with each other? Analyze the diagram. You have 90 seconds to give your answers. Up. To answer it, the Earth consists of four subsystems. Across its boundaries, matter and energy flows. The atmosphere, which is the air, the biosphere, all the living things, the hydrosphere, all the waters of the Earth, and the geosphere, or sometimes called lithosphere, which is the land. The atmosphere provides the geosphere the heat needed for rock breakdown and erosion. The biosphere receives gases, heat, and sunlight or energy from the atmosphere. It receives water from the hydrosphere and a living medium for the geosphere or lithosphere. And that's how the four spheres or the four subsystems of the Earth are interrelated. No one can live alone, like the saying goes. Subsystems of the Earth. We will now discuss the four subsystems one by one. First, atmosphere. It is the gaseous layer above the Earth's surface, primarily composed of 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. Other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, and other inert gases or noble gases made the remaining 1%. The atmosphere supports life because animals and oxygen, and plants need both carbon dioxide and oxygen. In addition, the atmosphere supports life indirectly by regulating climate. Air acts as both a blanket and a filter, retaining the heat at night and shielding from direct solar radiation during the day. Wow, that's how thick is the atmosphere of the Earth. We all know in grade 7 that the Earth has 4 layers: the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, and the thermosphere. Atmosphere is very vital because it not only protects us from the harmful radiation of the sun, but also gives us the oxygen we needed. Actually, it's the plants in the process of photosynthesis that gives us oxygen. The function of the atmosphere is to keep those oxygen gas. It is 21%, while nitrogen has the greatest component in our atmosphere. But nitrogen is not it's not safe for humans to take in. biosphere. It is the zone of Earth where all forms of life exist. In the sea, on land, and in water. It is sometimes called as the large ecosystems. It is the zone that life inhabits. Biosphere is a very thin layer of the Earth's surface. Although there are many living things that flourish on our planet, the biosphere is like the last statement is very thin layer, but it's very vital in our planet because there will be no nutrient cycle if it weren't for these living things. Geosphere, or sometimes called the lithosphere. It is the solid Earth, consisting of the entire planet from the center of the core to the crust. It includes the core, mantle, and crust of the Earth. That's why it's from the word geo meaning Earth. The geosphere also provides minerals and it's very vital for living things, especially in terms of habitats. And the geosphere makes our planet a very dynamic world because of what we call the plate tectonics. Finally, we have the hydrosphere. It is the water part of the Earth which circulates among oceans, continents, glaciers, and atmosphere. Oceans cover 71% or 2/3 of the Earth and contains 97.5% of its water. As we all know, oceans is mainly salt water. Only a small percent is a fresh water. But these oceans give us the water we needed so that life can be sustained in our planet. Earth is a complex system made up of many smaller systems through which matter and energy are continuously cycled. Energy and matter flow through Earth's spheres, the geospheres, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. Energy flows through the atmosphere mostly by convection. How does matter and energy flow across the 4 subsystems of the Earth? The Earth consists of 4 subsystems. Across its boundaries, matter and energy flows. The atmosphere, or the air, the biosphere, or the living things, the hydrosphere, or all the waters of the Earth, and the geosphere, or the land. The atmosphere provides the geosphere with heat and energy needed for rock breakdown and motion. The biosphere receives gases, heat, and sunlight from the atmosphere. It receives water from the hydrosphere and a living medium from the geosphere. That is why, like earlier said, these 4 spheres or 4 subsystems are interrelated to each other. They needed each other. For the performance task, the human population has increased rapidly since the 1700s. For most of the human history, there were fewer than 500 million people on Earth. In mid-2009, 6.7 billion people inhabited our planet. Because of this, extensive pollution is everywhere. As a student, what can you do to save not only a particle system, but the Earth itself? Write your answer in the table below. You can screenshot the table and do it as your assignment. We now go to our post-assessment. These have 5 questions of multiple choice. You will be given 5 seconds to answer each question. Let's start our post-assessment. The first question: Earth includes beach, grasses, forms of life in the sea, on land, and even in the air. Which term best describes the statement? Is it A, atmosphere, B, biosphere, C, geosphere, or D, hydrosphere? correct answer is letter B, biosphere. Question number 2. All of Earth's cycles and spheres are interconnected. Why is this so? Is it A, because they are interconnected? B, because Earth is where we live in? C, because Earth is the only living planet? Or D, because every organism has its own function in the Earth? The correct answer is letter D, because every organism has its own function in the Earth. Question number 3. From the given choices, which is an example of a connection between biosphere connecting to atmosphere? A. Animals eat plants. B. Animals drink water. C. Animals lie in caves. D. Plants produce oxygen. The correct answer is letter D. Plants produce oxygen. The atmosphere of the Earth is composed of blank oxygen and blank nitrogen and other gases. A. 0% and 100%. B. 21% and 78%. C. 78% and 21%. Or D. 50% and 50%. The correct answer is 21% oxygen and 78% nitrogen. Last question. Ozone plays an important function in every single organism on Earth. To what sphere does ozone layer belong? A. Atmosphere. B. Biosphere. C. Geosphere. Or D. Hydrosphere. The correct answer is atmosphere. And now, that ends Module 2. We learn about the 4 subsystems of the Earth, namely the atmosphere, the biosphere, the geosphere, and the hydrosphere. And these 4 spheres are interconnected, which means they need each other so that our planet can sustain life. And this is the end of our lesson for today. And for the next time, we will have Module 3. And this is Sir Ken. Good day to all, and God bless.